Shadow Coast here, and welcome to another episode. In this one, we're going to tackle the Great Departure. We have completed a few steps. We said goodbye to our mother, who is suffering from the Malachor and is not long for this world, unfortunately. We met Kurt in front of the palace, and he has joined us as our first companion, running around, taking on Serene and some quests with us. We did talk to the Bridge Alliance ambassador about us heading to Tier 4D and gain some information. We also talked to the Ptolemy ambassador about our departure. Each of these are different factions. They're actually at war with each other. So we have to kind of pick sides or potentially pick sides at one point. Although, let's see. We ended up doing quests for both of them, and in both cases, the outcomes weren't perfectly to their liking, but we did level up or increase our reputation by +1 with each. Check out those quests. The Bridge Alliance gives you the quest to take on the Charlatan, while the Ptolemy Ambassador's quest has you track down what they label as heretics that turn out to be historians. Anyways, in this episode, we are going to track down Constantine and hopefully be on our way to Tier 4D. So the next part of this quest, once you get to the point where you have to discover where to find Constantine, you actually have to talk to Captain Vasco. And as you guys know, I skipped through dialogue. So we have to ask about the absence. He's going to say something about a tavern. And so if we look at this, we actually have to head over to the tavern and inquire what the heck happened to our friend Constantine. Before we do, you know my motto, always be looting. We're going to grab that box right behind Vasco. We're going to head over to the tavern. Now, as you head over to the tavern, you might have already picked up this note. I recommend you check it out and read through. It's a poorly written notice that says, "To the family of the rich man who provoked us, we have him and will kill him if you don't pay us handsomely. Come with a full purse to the alley south of the old warehouse district." What could that note mean? Well, down here is the old warehouse district, so south of that would probably be down here. But before we do, let's head over to the tavern. And spoiler alert, that notice was written about Constantine, but we will figure that out a little bit later. Let's head over to our friendly tavern keeper, see if he's going to ask for money. So we're going to ask him about Constantine, and he's going to say that he doesn't want to help us and give us information until we pay him 25 gold, or we repair the broken furniture. So we're not going to pay him, but that is an option. If you want to spend 25 gold to speed it up, you can do that. The other option here, which we can open up here, is repair the damage caused by Constantine, where we need actually 4 metal dowels. Now you'll see here we actually have 4 metal dowels already. If you walk over here, you can examine the wreckage. Oops.
Terrible condition. The fight must have been extremely violent.
It looks as if it's fixable.
And we have to actually listen to
we need to build some metal dowels, but once done, we can make them like new.
So because I have the 4 metal dowels, I can click E to repair. But let's say you did not have 4 metal dowels. Don't worry. Run over to the workbench right outside. Head over to the quest item, and you can build them. And you need crude iron ore, which you can loot around the city. So you have to just run around and pick it up, and then you can make it. We already have 4 metal dowels, so we're going to run over and repair the table.
And there you have it.
Because
you never guessed they were once broken.
Why not practice our craftsmanship? And look at that, good as new.
Well then,
yes.
That does.
So he basically reveals that he pissed off our friend Constantine, pissed a bunch of people off,
Goodbye.
and that they took him. So we're gonna head outside and try to track them down. Now, thanks to the note that we picked up, we have a pretty good sense that he's going to be down here or over here somewhere. So we're going to head that way. Swing a right here. Not sure if there's a lot of stuff to loot. And just so you can see, we're going to head over and then down. And you actually walk over here to trigger a cutscene.
That vulture
Now,
of a
we
tavern
can
sounds
actually
as if he's
hear
locked up.
Constantine
And I have a feeling
complain
they're expecting
upstairs,
company. Be
and
careful.
clearly he's probably being guarded. So we have a few options here, but before we get into those, I recommend you loot everything. So there are a few options you have to kind of get in there and help Constantine. So the first option is coming over here, climbing down this ladder. You're going to notice two things. So the first thing is you're going to notice
It's
that
blocked.
this door is blocked. We can't open it. There is, however, the opportunity to use science and or alchemic preparation to do elemental damage and blow through this wall, get in there. Now we went with lock picking, and so we don't have that science ability, so we can't do that. So there are a few other options. Now, Kurt makes mention of not wanting to pay off a ransom for Constantine. So there are a few other options here. If you run over here, over to the front, you're going to see there's this message about enemy detection. These guys up here took Constantine. Now you have several options. If you don't have lockpicking, which we do, and you don't have science and you can't blow down the wall, you can talk to them by walking over there and use intuition or potentially charisma um, to try to convince them to give up Constantine. If that doesn't work, you can actually kill them and pick up the key to his cell. We have lockpicking, so we're going to go a different route and try to sneak past everybody over to the front door here. And I misspoke. You actually don't need lockpicking to open that door. So if you don't want to negotiate, you don't want to pay a ransom, and you don't want to kill them, you can just kind of sneak by them, and that works. Now, I do recommend that you do a little exploring here, and you'll see why. If you actually climb down, you can come over here and unlock this door that was blocked. So that was the one that didn't work. And over here, if you actually pick up Serene's criminal key, which I recommend you do, and then you can get some stuff, general loot. So having picked up Serene criminal key, climb back up the ladder, and before going upstairs, make sure you loot everything. I also recommend you come into this room over here. So loot this stuff that's around, and then over here there is a box. Now you have an option. If you use this, you can use lockpicking. We have lockpicking, but you can also use the key, the Serene's criminal key, to unlock it and get some stuff. I'll come back and check out what happens if we end up lockpicking, but I don't think the loot will be any different. I'll post a comment in the comment section if it is. Next, run upstairs, and before you open this door on the left, where our good friend is, come into this room and pick up the key to Constantine's cell. You're going to need that to open the door. And then also, over here, there is a few things you can pick up. Yes, a chest. And in this chest, there's the old embroidered doublet, which I also recommend picking up, and you'll see why here in just a minute. After you grab all that good stuff, well, I just lockpicked, but you can also use the key, which we just picked up.
Well, this has
And
been monumental.
we're going to skip this. He is surprised to see us, and we've all of a sudden unlocked companion equipment, which is fantastic. So here we have Constantine, or well, here we want to head over to Constantine, and we're gonna want him to put on his old embroidered doublet, which there are a few options here. We can also put on something different if we want, but he wants his old embroidered doublet, so why not put that on for the time being? Now you can see here
Whatever it is,
he
I shall follow.
has nothing that interesting. But if you come over to Kurt, you can see Kurt, his gear item has lockpicking. So you can take this off of him. Oops. Oh no, I just wasted a potion. That's embarrassing. Um, and this one, you can actually, take it from him or put on something else. And then you can equip his doublet. So this is Kurt's doublet and get +1 lockpicking. If you have not rolled lockpicking, I recommend you do that and run over to the chest. Now, I did some experimenting with lockpicking. If you go that route, that does not necessarily mean that you're going to get any of the blue rare items that you might have seen in some of my other posts. I do think you have to roll lockpicking. Also, Constantine wanted us to go out there and lay a beat down on the people outside. Well, Kurt was a little bit adverse to that. So I don't think Constantine's going to be a regular companion. So we're going to try to keep Kurt happy, and we're going to sneak out the back and then head back over to Captain Vasco so we can actually depart. So that is how you free Constantine, if you guys are wondering. There are some branching different options. Before heading back to, or before talking to Captain Vasco, I do recommend you trigger another conversation, which I thought was very interesting. And this kind of highlights how, depending on who's in your crew, or who you have as a companion, you're going to trigger different conversations. Some more loot there, a crude iron cudgel or whatever, which is used to make metal dowels. Run over here and have a conversation with Mr. De
Your Highness,
Porcelain. I don't know how to say his name actually.
you might have.
But basically it triggers interesting dialogue about him and Constantine, and it opens up more dialogue options to talk about. Is he just there to kind of watch over us, keep us in check? Long story short, he probably is. And then you can complete this mission more or less by going back to Vasco and ask permission to come aboard. When you do this, when you ask permission to board the ship, you can then still decide to stay a little while or leave Serene. We're going to stay and do some looting. I will finish out this quest in the next episode. You should see that in the top right if you want to auto-load it quickly, where I give you some recommendations on what to do before you leave Serene and fight a giant beast. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please drop me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. We will catch you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.